Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Zwift stream. I'm very confused. I was trying to set everything up before I went live, and I'm very confused by my placement in this race. Why am I all the way back here? Oh, why? I joined immediately, and there's not that many... Oh boy, this is gonna be... You're so confused. How are you, Goose? Why are you confused? I'm confused because I'm so far back from the pens. I don't understand that. I'm so... why? I hope that doesn't screw me over. I'm excited, Dad. We're getting there. I'm confused by how... Okay, well... Because I jumped into the pens.
You're
thank you,
really
Dad.
dedicated to this, aren't you?
46 months.
Pity.
Thank you so much. And I am not a threat right now. I am not even remotely a threat. But I purposefully always jump into the pens early. And that's a horrifying placement. Like, horrifying. Why am I there? I should be at the front. I swear if I jump in and I'm at the back, I'm gonna be very upset. I don't understand. Nice, Goose. Nice. Yeah, I've been off the bike for... Well, I can't say I've been off the bike now. But prior to last week, I was off the bike for almost a month. So, I do not have the same stamina. I'm rebuilding. I feel like I could stay with that pace, partner. Yeah, I feel that. I tried the tiny races 2 weekends ago and got destroyed. I got dropped in every single one. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Priorities. True. True. Very, very true, unfortunately. I definitely feel like I am starting, not all over, but quite far back. Which is super unfortunate. Because I was doing very well. I was quite happy with where I was, and I'm not anymore. Can you not get by the edge of the road, please? It's terrifying. So, we'll see what happens. I'm just, right now, my goal is just pack finishes. If I can continue to pack finish, I'm happy. Yeah. I've decided I just like doing the climbs. Yeah. So what I typically do is 30 minutes from the start of the race, I always hop into the pens to reserve my spot. And then I go warm up. Because if you jump in 30 minutes before, you reserve your spot, which it's supposed to be in the front row. Which is why I'm confused. Because I joined as soon as possible. I couldn't have joined the pens any earlier. Yep. Yep. That is a trick for Zwift racing. Is you join the pen 30 minutes before. Basically 29 minutes and 59 seconds. It opens. I would be very impressed. Because I wait until the button just appears. So unless everybody is camping doing the same thing. Depends. When it comes to GC, no. No, it's not. Because we're not in a time slot where it's remotely reasonable. The other thing is there's only supposed to be like 25 people in my race. For how far back I am, that's more than 25 people. It's not a very filled out race. That's the other thing that confuses me. Like, even if, like, 10 people had hopped in, I'd expect to be, like, second row. But how far back I am doesn't match how many people have signed up. It's very weird. Very, very weird. So, I don't know. I mean, the good thing is, it's not a tiny race. A tiny race, that would screw me. That's the end of a tiny race, getting poor positioning. Between how many people there are and how fast it is. So, yeah, exactly. I don't think you were here for Saturday, but I got screwed over in one of the tiny races. Third race, we were in the pens, and somebody's like, "Oh man, it's supposed to say 2 laps, but my UI says 1." And I'm like, "I see 2 laps. What are you talking about?" And a lot of people are like, "Yeah, no, I see 1." Sure enough, get to the end of lap 1, and like 90% of the field disappears. I was stuck doing the second lap nearly by myself. Yep. I literally spawned in to the 4th race as the banner dropped. And I'm like, oh good. This is gonna go well. Needless to say, I did not last long. At all. I got dropped very quickly. I'm just like, really? Really? I've never had that happen before. So, my guess is when Eric made them, he made them as 2 laps, and then realized that C and D wouldn't have time to finish. Or barely. So he probably changed them. And my guess is anybody that had signed up before he changed it probably didn't get an update. And so Zwift kept them on 2 laps. It's the only way it would make sense. Because there was like 12 of us out of 80 that ended up having to do 2 laps. So, I mean, even though I eased off, I still had to do enough to get to the line in time to make the next race. Yeah, no. In the tiny races, you need to be like 100% and then 0. Not 100% and then 75 or 80. So, 4th race did not go well. 4th race went very poorly. It was... Had it been the weekend before, it probably would have broken me. And I would have been like, nope, I'm done. Thankfully, I had some racing in my legs by that point, but not enough. Not enough for that. Exactly. That would have been like, mic drop, stream over, I'm out. It was so disheartening. Because not only, like, because I got dropped right before the line banner, maybe like 500 meters before, because it was a kicker. And I'm like, why the heck is everybody going so hard? I can't do this. And then once they crossed the line, I'm like, oh, they were doing their finishing kick. That's why. But then it also means that I had no group. So I had to ride like 3 kilometers of the loop solo, which made it that much worse. And it was Yorkshire. So you can take a wild guess how much that sucked. No. Exactly. Yeah, and I was toast. 3 races in, I'm toast. Especially 3 races in on poor fitness, I'm toast. So, yeah, no, it was... At least I had an excuse for race 3 and 4. The interesting thing is the race scoring... Hey, Artie. The race scoring didn't adjust. I think that's the key with the tiny races, is it's short enough that you don't really fully cool down. You kind of spin it out. Because I'm 100% the same. Oh, Hardy just means you need to come race on Zwift. Yeah, tiny races, I think the longest I've gotten between tiny races is 7 minutes. Normally it's like 3 to 5. That's about the average time. Nice, Hardy. That's impressive. Now just go race cross. Or mountain bike or something. You can find something else to occupy yourself. I can definitely feel like my form is slowly coming back. Yeah, that is fair. For anybody who actually does legitimate training. That's the thing that I don't like. Legitimate training takes all the fun out of it. It's like I have to do this week. But I don't wanna. Jesus, Goose. That's insane. I've had that before. I got invited to a ride. My buddy didn't tell me it was the state bikes ride, the state bicycle. The ones that do, riding fixie up mountains with pros. Yeah. They descend like nuts. I mean, that's a good way to look at it, Hardy. Oh, God, Goose. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Riding my Venge next to somebody riding a fixie up a mountain. Depending on the terrain, Hardy. 30 flat is not terrible. 30 with any elevation. Yeah, exactly, Goose. I mean, I think we did like 2,500 feet of elevation. Oh yeah, no, Hardy, we're talking road rides. I think we did like 2,500 or 3,000 feet of elevation with fixies. And the other key with the fixie, they only have one speed. And I don't mean that, like, legitimately. It's, like, that's all they can ride at, or else they fall over. So, they don't have a choice, which means they're all stupidly strong. And they were descending, like, I can descend 40-ish miles an hour. I start getting sketchy too much beyond that. They were doing near 50. And I'm like, nope. There was 2 times where I nearly washed out. And I'm like, okay, you guys have fun. I'll be back here. I'm gonna get out of your line. It was ridiculous. Jesus, Hardy. Thanks, Kevin. I will say riding IRL at gradient is easier. Not like hugely easy, but it's being able to throw the bike around really changes things. It's like the locked-in syndrome of a trainer. Yeah, exactly. You get tired and you can get out of the saddle and kind of throw it around. A rocker helps, but it's not the same. It does a little bit of that, but that's monstrous, Hardy. Oh, I believe it, Goose. You also can't just hop off the trainer and be like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. I am always sore after climbing. Both core and arms. Well, I'm probably like shoulder area. Okay. For me, Hardy, 55-14 is monstrous. I'm not a track rider. You gotta keep that in mind. I mean, what, most gearing is 52? So 53 and fun. Yeah, maybe on the track. Maybe. But I've never track ridden, so we'll never know. Yeah, exactly, Goose. That's what I feel. That is true. I guess the 52 versus 14, yeah, partially compensates. Huh. I've wanted to try track racing. I gotta do cross first, though. I had intended on starting already, but obviously everything has set me back. I would not last in a cross race right now. Not a chance. It's too much high intensity for what my fitness is. Also, I don't have any skills. I don't know how to mount and dismount. That is something I need to work on. I could do 95 RPM. That I can do. It's over the 110 that starts getting iffy. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, starting over 110 is where I kind of start to fall to pieces. I'm sure if I was on a fixie, it kind of sorts some of itself out. Because you can't really have a skip when you're, on a fixie. A skip is much worse. See, the good thing is I prefer higher cadence rather than lower anyways. I have no idea how tonight's gonna go. None. I mean, that's also track racing. Nice. I can picture it. Thunk, thunk. It's like a fly. Hey, just doing bump drills. I mean, that's a critical thing to do in track racing. There's so much more tight space racing on the track than there is outdoors. Or on, like, regular roads. I believe it. And I'd imagine the angle and steepness of the track plays a big part in that. Seriously, why don't you? Get on it. Track racing is great for GoPros. Sounds like a euphemism. I mean, that's at every level of racing, unfortunately. That's a constant. At least you don't have mountain bike handlebars. It'd be much worse. That is one thing that scares me about track. Especially if it's outdoors. You're fast, close space on tarmac or concrete. But then even if you're indoors on boards, splinters. Ah, okay. Yeah, I've heard. Elimination races seem very tense. Fun to watch. Can only imagine how stressful it is to be in them. Well, and I think it's also because you guys can't brake. I've heard that fixie racing is actually a lot safer because of that. You can't get people sketched out. You can't get somebody going into a corner and going, oh, I'm going to grab a handful of brake. You can't. Because you're only going to take yourself out. Well, maybe you'll take out other people, but first you're going to take yourself out. Yeah. Consistency is probably a key piece. Well, I mean, you can try to coast, it's just not going to go well. I believe it. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna do tonight. I really don't know. Thanks, Goose. The thing that doesn't bode well is it's a short race. It's like a 21-minute effort. Which, with PD 4.1, whoo, some people are going to get spicy. That much I am sure of. That was definitely last week's race. Last week's race was spicy. Constant attempts. Alright. Go ahead and spin it down. Get my character rolling. Oh, make sure it gets to a good speed first. And then I'm gonna go hit the bathroom. It's race time. And I believe it. I mean, you would imagine as you get more experienced, you have a know-how of what position is key at what moment. And I mean, imagine that just increases the higher you get in the fields. And so as people learn where you need to be for your skill set, you have to fight. Oh, I mean, why would you? Why would you give up a hard-earned spot? That's way too much extra effort. All right, I'll be right back, chat. Alright. Party with your sprints, I don't feel like people trust you. Just gonna put that out there. Alright. Yeah, but did they know that? Oh, okay. Well. I tried. Alright. How many people do we have? And am I still in the same spot? Because if so, I'm going to be upset. Alright. Let's find out what it does to me. What the heck? Oh, we're all back here. What the heck? That's weird. Okay, so it's at least 34. I want to see if anybody goes gravel. Yeah, it's weird. Yes. I don't get people helping each other out in racing. Like, there's a certain extent where you just say, hey, do some research. Like, keep some of your tactics to yourself, people. Somebody's on a steel bike next to me. Don't, I swear, if you win, that's just rubbing in. Is somebody on, like... Are they on an Athos and Meilensteins? Or, what? Is somebody riding an ultra lightweight setup over there on the left side? Because you're insane, sir. This is not a course for super light. There is 88 meters of climbing. All right, 45 seconds. We start off, go a little bit downhill, and then we hit gravel. So gravel will be the tough part. 49. It's getting bigger. 25 seconds. Like I said, goal, just hang on. You're riding 21 days after reconstruct. Why? I feel like you should not be riding 21 days after reconstructive shoulder. Well, racing after reconstructive shoulder surgery. I feel like the doctor would not be happy. Oh, jeez. Ha! Ha! That's impressive. We're after, right? Already lost some. Don't believe the heart rate. That's not right. Already attacks. Whoop, are you okay? Holy hell. That was rough. We've lost almost half the field. My heart rate is at least 185. There we go, it's catching up. Yeah, no. Ugh. I am pouring sweat. Yeah. Come on, Adair. Really? Why? What a disrespectful move. Had we worked together, probably could have caught the next person. But no. Not how you get somebody to work with you. Every time. I'm hurting. Thanks, Etch. Appreciate the resub. Thank you, Dirty Pirate Man. It's been a while. How you doing? That hurt. Could we have probably caught Sonder? Yes. Was it irking me that every single time that he came through, he would try to burn me? Yes. And that's part of the reason I didn't care anymore. I just wanted to beat him. I didn't care about Sonder anymore. He was just really irking me. Every time he came through, he would try to, like, ditch me off his wheel. It's like, what are you doing? Cat C has become very much low Cat B. I finished at 3-0 with 5 kilometers at sub. That was insane. Ugh. But thank you for the resub, Etch. How are you? God, that hurt. As soon as we didn't slow down in the village, I knew I was screwed. I didn't recover at all. Oh. That's a very painful race. I might have saved a slight bit. I was not going to let them win. And I figured with all their little probing attacks, they had probably dumped a bit of their tank. So I was fairly confident. Now, if they hadn't upset me, there was a point where we were 2 seconds back. I could have closed it there. But no. I turned very petty. I wanted one thing and one thing only. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I'm honest, if we worked together, there was another group like 11 seconds up the road. We probably could have caught them too. Because they were going like 2.5 to 2.8. But, I mean, I was doing moderate turns. I was a little tired. But yeah, I mean, at that point, no. I'm not letting them win. I will throw away one place to win. I'll take 18th out of like 50 people, though. Considering where I'm at right now, still averaging 3-0, I'll take it. Which, if I ever average 3-0 with the last like 6 minutes being almost solo, that says a lot about how fast the race actually was. The new pack dynamics has definitely changed things, though, because people are definitely more anxious to attack. The amount of times people are putting in probing attacks and just stretching the field. The thing that I have to learn is I need to not respond to some of them, because there was one or two where I spiked up and closed right as they shut down the effort. And I have to, like, before PD41, that wasn't common. If somebody's going to put in an attack, they were going to put in an attack. They weren't going to shut it down. But now, people are much more prone to shutting down their attacks, which is weird. So, that's been the one thing that I've really noticed that I'm wasting energy on, is getting anxious and closing attacks. And then the group just comes up behind me and I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a learning curve. It's going to be a massive learning curve with figuring out what people are doing with 4-1. Because I've definitely been wasting energy. Yeah, exactly. I have to be more patient. I'm going to have to get used to, you know, what are people going to pull back? And I think the big thing is people are just as anxious, but they're waiting for other people to do the move. Which the issue then is if everybody starts waiting for the move, nobody's going to do it. And then everybody loses. So, but I think I have to get back into the habit of it's okay if somebody goes. If I lose because a break got away, it is what it is. It's better than getting dropped because I burned too many matches pulling the group back together. And the group stayed together because of me and I'm not there anymore. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, it's definitely, I mean, it's changed the game for sure. It has definitely made the tiny races much harder. The tiny races are insane right now. Everybody's pushing. The races are just flat out, which they were pretty flat out before, but it's like to the extreme now. Everybody is going for it. Yeah, I did too. I did last weekend and the weekend before. Yeah, 5-minute power, 250. Yeah, 20-minute power of 230. So, that's not far off my FTP. I think 230 is actually my FTP. Right? Yeah, that was basically FTP. Don't worry, I'm not ending just yet. I want to take a look at this. Yeah, and the 250 is not recent. 250 is my utmost highest FTP. So, yeah, that was okay, better than expected. Let's see. I like the sound of flat right now. And a nice chill flat. But yeah, I did tiny races 2 weeks ago and got absolutely destroyed. And then last weekend, I was doing okay until it screwed me over. I don't think I would have done great on the third race, but it definitely screwed me over more than I anticipated. And I'm amused that Eric hasn't addressed the fact that he screwed up one of the races. I want an apology, dang it. That crap hurt. Oh. I was definitely hoping for a pack finish tonight. Like, me finishing with a pack, but considering how much that pack disintegrated, I think I'm gonna be happy. Because that was faster than I expected. That was much more pain. There's a lot more gravel than I remember, which is a problem too. You've really got to place yourself correctly. Also, in case anybody from Zwift ever watches this, stop the stupid camera angle by that lake. When you're in a race, you don't want your camera angle to not be on your rider. That is the stupidest thing. I hate it. When you're, let me see. Where's my... When you're doing the race, where is it? I guess it's kind of like this. You don't want this camera angle. You don't. That is the stupidest thing. I've had to race a couple of races where you just like this side angle camera shot and you can't see anything. And it's so frustrating. Stop the cinematic camera shots in races. Ah! All right, rant over. Maybe. I'm still mad. But yeah, I want to know what was up with my whoop at the beginning. Because it was not remotely capturing my heart rate at all. I thought I was at like 100 when I was definitely like 190. So, whoop. Not doing so hot tonight. That was not helpful. Not helpful at all. Also, if anybody else has Zwift play, are you ever panicked by somebody giving you a ride on and accidentally dropping your power up instead of giving a ride on back? Because I sure as hell am. I always panic and like feel out buttons before I give a ride on back in a race. Because there's going to be one time that I don't do it, and I'm going to accidentally drop an arrow power up or something in the middle of a random section trying to give somebody a ride on. It's going to happen. Whew. Now I was going to call shenanigans on how many calories burned, and then I realized that my heart rate monitor wasn't correct. So, probably is shenanigans. Perks is I didn't end up with a headache this time after the race. So that's a win. For anybody who wasn't here last week when I did the Get Rolling series, I randomly got a headache for no reason at the end. Still not sure why. Again, though, I do feel like I'm seeing progress. Yes, I got dropped, but my 20-minute power was higher, so I am not upset. It's focusing on the little things. Keeping perspective. Considering I'm 2 weeks back in, I'm pretty happy with the progress. Part of the reason I race as a way to get back in. So it does seem to be pretty effective. It's kind of like quick fires the body, which I know if I'm trying to aim for things, it's not a great solution. Because I'm not going to build base or anything like that, but let's be honest. My goal is racing 30-minute races. Not much beyond that. I don't race outdoors anymore, so this is my racing. And if I get dropped, oh well. Man, the Zwift play has definitely gotten better. I'm glad that they worked on it. Now, I'm unhappy that they never admitted that they had problems with it. But I'm happy it's fixed. I have not had the same issues I used to have. So I'm fine with it. I don't find that I'm using them as much in races right now, but it's probably because I'm not at the tactical pointy end right now. I can definitely see them being useful for attacks, but I'm not back at that point yet. It'll be a little bit. And there are times I'm too kind of a rider, and I'm not gonna like do this to try to get out of somebody's, or get somebody out of my draft or something. I need to work on that. I was slightly spiteful tonight, but not as much as some people to me. I have work to do. Definitely not as tired as normal, which is good. I do think that little climb by the lake is one of my kryptonites. Unless I'm on a gravel bike, it's so difficult. Zwift feature suggestion. I saw it in a Minecraft plugin. Auto translation for anybody speaking a language that's not the one that you have set as default for you. Whether that be English, French, whatever. If my language is English, you should be able to translate everything for me. And then if somebody else doesn't have English as their language and I speak in English, you should be able to translate it for them. That would be very cool. Huge accessibility feature. Come on, Zwift. Get on it. Shouldn't be terribly difficult. The programs all exist, you just have to tie them together. Seriously, if a Minecraft plugin can do it, I think Zwift can. But the fact that I'm seeing like symbols instead of native characters tells me that Zwift does not have a great back end for language. Which is kind of depressing considering it's a very international game. You'd think that that would be something that they'd focus on to try to incorporate people from across the world. Even if like it's translating, like Twitch even does this better, where it'll show you the native name, but it also show you your local translation of it. So you know it's being translated. So you don't go to like try to talk to them and they speak a different language and you're like, oh crap. Like, you can make it that way. But like that with Tristan, that copyright symbol is obviously not the correct symbol. But Zwift is not handling the language pack for somebody that doesn't have like a French language pack in their computer. Which, why that's not server side? Who knows? Definitely feels like an oversight. Very curious to see what it ends up being for Saturday's tiny races. Hopefully it's not as much climbing as it was this last weekend, because that was rough. Normally that'd be something I'd be like, yeah, cool. Not yet. I was not excited for that. Wednesday I'll probably do the Pretzel Fest, seeing as I don't have to do the full route, which is a very nice thing. Just try to get the mission completions. I'll be curious if there'll be makeup, so I can redo stage 1 that I missed, because I thought it was just doing complete routes, which I have no interest in. So we'll see if I can continue doing it each week. I don't know. I might get lazy. Probably more than likely, if I'm honest. Somebody on a mountain bike? Why are you on a mountain bike out here? Why? Oh, there's more than one person on a mountain bike. Why are multiple people on mountain bikes? What's happening? I mean, I know we're going up a volcano, but it's not a mountain ride. I do think that's something that Zwift could do as an education piece when somebody first joins, is explain that the different bikes actually have different characteristics. Because I don't think that's well explained. Like, have it be a tutorial if you want it, or you can turn it off. I feel like that'd be useful. Where it's like, these are different types of bikes, this is what they're for. So not everybody's super experienced. And you don't want to just bank on that. That's the new user experience you have to work on. Can't take that kind of stuff for granted. Penguin, are you lurking? Do you still plan on doing something tomorrow night? Okay, cool. Just double checking. Come on, Bernie. I didn't go that fast. Nah. Lost my drops multiplier. Not that I desperately need them. But I want them. Thankfully, we don't have, like, 4D gaming, and I don't feel this heat. That would suck. Please never make that a thing. Oh. My normalized power and average are still so high. Considering this is close to a cooldown. Oops. Come back here, Bernie. So yeah, Wednesday should be Pretzel Fest. So, probably no real push. I'll probably just ride it conservatively, and then Saturday should be racing again. See if I can continue the growth. I'm gonna have to check my gearing later. Almost feels like something's not fully tightened, and I'm not sure what it would be. Very curious. I'm excited for more Vuelta stages. Very excited to see how this ends. Tomorrow and Wednesday should be fun. Well, tomorrow for the end of it. I guess Wednesday for the end of it too, but Wednesday more so. And Galore. See how it goes. Tomorrow's just a wall at the end. I think it's like average of like 11-12%. No, thank you. After like 200 kilometers. That's miserable. I can't imagine for some people when you look at that and go, cool. More hell awaits. Whether it be the sprinters or the domestiques. I'm sure the GC favorites kind of relish it slightly. But everybody else, especially the sprinters. There's no way a sprinter's winning tomorrow. Not a chance. Not unless they're in a breakaway. Be interesting to see, but I still even, they're probably no way. Unless they were solo in a breakaway, they're probably still winning. Let's be honest. Ah, yes, feather. The most useful on Volcano Flat. All right. I think that's going to do it for me, chat. Thank you for everybody who joined. Hopefully I was at least moderately entertaining. Even though I did get dropped, but hey. I think it's fair to say that was a bit of a rough race. It's a little quick. That hurt. But there will be a special stream tomorrow, so pay attention to Discord for that. I will be back on Wednesday, and then we'll have tiny races on Saturday. So thank you all for joining. I will go ahead and send you on a raid if you're interested in sticking around for it. Otherwise, I will see you Wednesday, and Penguin, see you tomorrow. Bye.